Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video we're going to be going over Hodgkin and should you be pulling for him or passing on him because his rate of recruitment is coming to the global server in just around 12 hours from the time I'm recording this video. Okay, so the first thing to mention, Hodgkin from his skill description, he is looking like a purely PvP hero. I find it definitely hard to believe that he will be useful in Dream Realm. Maybe if some other game modes come out in the future, other PvE game modes, maybe he will have some use. But he's mainly like an AoE damage type hero. He also has key effects which will make him strong for PvP, like the immunity to physical damage, which is a hard counter to certain team comps in like even Supreme Arena, for example. But for Dream Realm and in Endless bosses, you have no difficulty surviving. Being immune to physical damage is kind of a whole waste of an ability. And his damage is just not that high. There's no true damage. There's no HP per second damage. So as a damage dealer for Dream Realm, I just don't think he's going to cut it. Okay, and for AFK stages as well, he doesn't have a lot of actually crowd control. Like usually for AFK damage dealers, you want AFK stages, you want AoE damage, like for example Carolina, Arden, but you also want some form of crowd control. Now I think definitely Hodgkin could fit into some AFK stage pushing teams, but from his skills, I find it hard to believe that he's going to be like too game changing or too important for that. Because already we have some great heroes for AFK stages like Tassi, Carolina, Arden, and then of course the Hypers G and Celestials, Taylene and Smokey, and then all of this stuff. Okay, so that is my opinion. So if, for example, you're a more early game player, or you do not have, I'm going to list out the heroes right now. If you do not have Lily May, Mikola, Shakir, Smokey, all to Supreme Plus, Rainier, Frester, those is Hyper G and Celestials, they're not going to interfere. Because basically it's like, if you go for rate up recruitment, it's going to be at the cost of your all-hero recruitment. So you have to be really sure that you don't need any of the key S-level heroes from your all-hero recruitment before you go for your rate up recruitment. Unless it's like a game-breaking hero like Lily May who came to rate up. But Hodgkin, in my opinion, is not that. Okay, so Lily May, Shakir, Smokey, Mikola, Supreme Plus, in my opinion. Okay, and as for the A-level heroes that are important, because when you do rate up recruitment, you can pull A-level heroes, but at a much reduced rate. I'm going to show you the difference in percentages. From the rate up recruitment, you're going to be getting 10%, which means that out of, let's say you do 100 recruitments on rate up recruitment, you're expected to get 10 A-level heroes. If you do 100 recruitments on all hero recruitment, you're expected to get 22.5 A-level heroes, which is more than double. Right? So that's a big difference. So if you're missing out on key A-level heroes, you want to go for all hero recruitment instead of rate up. Now for me personally, I'm not planning to recruit for Hodgkin. Number one is because I just recruited for Tassi. I don't have the resources saved up to go for Hodgkin up to Supreme Plus. And really, I think if you're going to go for a rate up recruitment hero, especially when it's about PvP, you need to be able to at least get it to Mythic Plus for him to unlock a lot of his kit, and eventually you'll want to get him to Supreme Plus. But once he's at Supreme Plus, I definitely think he will be useful in a lot of PvP content. So let's take a look again at some of the key abilities that he has. So his Cannon Fire, this is a really high damaging skill. At maximum level, that's what we're going to consider because everyone is going to have this hero at maximum level. So 360% attack multiplier. And it can also, that 360 is going to be splash damage to adjacent enemies. And so if the enemy team is even a little bit grouped up, you're going to get 2 hits of this, even with 1 trigger of the cannon. And this will fire at least 5 cannons. So if there are even fewer enemies left on the battlefield, like if you've already killed 1 or 2, then you're guaranteed to hit pretty much everything 2 times. And then you're going to get the maximum, almost maximum damage out. After 2 hits, on the 3rd and following hits, is going to be heavily reduced in damage, reduced to 20% of the original damage value, which is like a huge reduction. 360 will go down to 72% attack multiplier, then it'll hardly do anything. You also attack your own allies. But there is an advantage to that later on, and it's a kind of low multiplier, so he probably won't be killing your own allies, so I don't really worry about that too much. Okay, now this is really his, like, this is bread and butter skill, and this is the thing that makes him unique. If he didn't have this ability, honestly, I would find him a bit lackluster, but this is the thing which is going to allow him to counter enemy physical damage dealer teams. So for example, so what this does is he will become immune. He will not take any damage from physical damage sources when he is in this ethereal state. And I'm pretty sure you're going to want to give him skill power because he benefits from skill power in 2 ways. But one of them is going to be this one. It's going to go up from 8 seconds to 10.5 seconds. Also, whenever he casts his ultimate cannon fire, he gets a free 4 seconds of ethereal state. So adding these together, that comes up to 14.5 seconds. And this is an 18-second cooldown. With some haste, you can get it down to 14 or below second cooldown. So I think he's going to have really high uptime of the ethereal state, and this is going to counter, like, for example, I was looking at my Supreme Arena defense team, my second team right now, which is Freesto, Shakir, Mikola, Coco, and Vala. Now, Vala is a purely physical-based damage dealer. We have Shakir, who's a physical-based damage dealer. I do have the Frestos, who have some magical damage, but, I mean, if there's only one minor source of magical damage on the enemy team, Hodgkin can take that. He's also getting HP recovery, well, in the ethereal state. So, Hodgkin would kind of hard counter that team, and really hard counter Vala, Sylvina type teams, because even if they can kill the other opponents, how are they going to kill Hodgkin in the end? I still think, like, in the end, if they can kill the entire team of Hodgkin, eventually Hodgkin will go down as well. But basically, he has a huge advantage into those teams. And then also my first team, I'm running Thorin. So Thorin is a magical damage dealer with the damage reflect. But the other heroes, Scarlet is a physical, Floribel is a physical. Like, I have Haywen Damien, who hardly deal any damage. So again, he would counter my Scarlita team as well. So Hodgkin, this is his ability, which will make him a good PvP hero and allow to counter some meta teams. And it will kind of force you to always, like, you know how you always try to position around Vala, or you did for a long time on your defense? Now you're always going to need to try and build a team that will not be hard countered by Hodgkin. So you'll always want to try to include one magical damage dealer source in all of your teams. And definitely for the teams like Lenya, Shakir type teams, the full Mauler, Lenya teams who are all physical based, Hodgkin is going to do a lot of work into them. Because he just will not be able to take damage from them. Okay, his other ability, Rending Cleave. This is a really good, I really like this ability. It is a 2-tile arc, which means basically 2-tile range. So both heroes in adjacent to him, but then 1 tile beyond that. In a cone like arc shape, they are all going to have their energy stolen. So not only will they have their energy reduced, but he's going to gain that energy, and it's going to be 100 energy up to 125 energy. And this is why I think skill power is so good for him, because it will increase his energy steal amount, and it will also increase the duration of his ethereal state. So 125 steal energy. If it can even hit 2 enemies, that's 250 energy. You're going to be casting cannon fire on a really low cooldown, and this hits really hard. And then he has attack, which is great, and bonus attack during ethereal state, which will have a high uptime. And whenever he casts his ultimate cannon fire, he's going to enter the ethereal state for 4 seconds so that he will provide this attack buff for his own ultimate. Before we go to his Mythic Plus, because that's the most complicated, we have the Enhanced Force, which is also Defense Shred. Physical Defense Shred when hit with this cannons. And like we mentioned, you're going to, you can stack this up to 2 times. It lasts for 10 seconds, but with his energy drain, he's probably going to be casting almost every 10 seconds, and he can hit multiple enemies because of the splash damage, or if there are fewer enemies surviving, then it's guaranteed to hit an enemy at least 2 times, and then you can stack this physical defense shred, so he will be good in physical damage teams of his own. Like him with Lenya, him with Floribel even, like because he also has summon mechanics, Floribel has summon mechanics. Okay, so we have Ardent Believers. This is his Mythic Plus ability. It has a lot of components to it, but basically, first of all, he's going to have 2 summons along with him at the beginning of the battle, and they will both have 60% of his health and 100% of his other stats. So they have the same damage output, but they have lower survivability. They also can only launch normal attacks. They can't cast his skills. Otherwise, that would be insane. So this is going to have some, but still decent damage. He's a physical-based damage dealer. Warrior hero, he's going to have high attack stat. And yeah. So when a unit is affected by Voidbound magic, is defeated. And so both of these warriors, they're going to begin with Voidbound magic. Yeah, and when they are defeated, they're going to trigger this explosion, which deals damage up to 10% of the defeated unit's maximum health. Which is going to be, for these ones, it's going to be like 60% of Hodgkin's health, 10% of that is 6% of Hodgkin's health, plus 120% base damage multiplier attack, and the damage cannot exceed The extra damage cannot exceed 200% of Hodgkin's attack. And the targeted enemies will also lose 200 energy. So more sources of causing the enemies to lose energy, which is really good for PvP. More sources of damage. No stun or anything on this ability, but high damage output. And then level 3 is going to cause, this is the big upgrade. You're going to need to get him to plus 10 exclusive equipment, and this is why his Mythic Plus will be essential if you're going to build him. It applies Voidbound magic to any unit hit by cannon fire that does not already have it. So enemies all going to be applied with Voidbound magic. So whenever they die, boom, explosion to adjacent enemies, dealing this damage, plus a percentage of the unit's maximum health, up to 200% of Hodgkin's attack. It's going to hit pretty hard, and also they're going to lose 200 energy. And the energy loss is going to, but the energy loss from this is going to be reduced to 70%, so they're not going to lose 200, they're going to lose 140 energy instead of the 200, but they lose 200 energy from the summons, the Tide Warriors. So this is the thing, like, I mean, he is going to be an energy sucking machine that he will drain with his own ability, his Rend and Cleave, but he will also just cause enemies to lose energy with these explosions. He deals a lot of damage, which also has all of the splash damage, his cannon fire as well as the Ardent Believers explosion damage. These are all going to hit adjacent enemies as well. So he's going to do really well into enemy teams that have all grouped up together. Like, for example, again, like the team I just mentioned, Fresto, Shakira, Mikola, they're all running into the front line, Lenya. He's just going to blow them all up, and they're all going to just keep taking damage off of each other. So, honestly, he's pretty insane. His kit is really synergistic, and he does, like, he's going to do his job, which is to counter enemy physical damage teams, and also to counter enemies who have a lot of melee heroes, a lot of units who are on adjacent tiles, and his damage output is going to be pretty high. So overall, I do think he is going to be a meta PvP hero. There's no question about that. But the question is, how important is it for you to build him on your account? And can you get by without him? And I definitely think you can get by without him. For example, I'm planning not to recruit for him because, like I said, I don't have the resources. But also, if I got him to Supreme Plus, I think I could use him on my Supreme Arena lineups. But like the people I'm competing with, they're gonna, if they build Hodgkin or if they have heroes, they're all Paragon 2 almost and above heroes. And so will my Supreme Plus Hodgkin be able to compete with that? I don't know. And also the thing is, in the end of the day, you will have at most a need for 15 well-built heroes for PvP. For your Supreme Arena lineups, 3 different lineups. And so Hodgkin is just adding, it's another hero that you can use, but like, do you need him? Like, if you already have 5 strong teams in Supreme Arena, do you actually need to recruit for him? Probably not. Like, so that's the thing. It's up to you how much you like the hero, how much you are focused on PvP, and also how much you will be able to invest into him to build him up. Like, you would at least need to get him to Supreme Plus or Mythic Plus ideally, and then if you are competing for the top ranks, you're going to need to take him higher most likely. But although that being said, Tassi for me has worked even at Supreme Plus. She's worked in my Supreme Arena defense lineups, and it's been a great option. So maybe Hodgkin could do a similar thing. The teams I'm expecting him to be in, I definitely think Zoo type teams, because he has summons, Floribel has summons. Wait a second. Floribel summons? Are they also going to be affected by this Voidbound magic? Are you kidding? And maybe even like, okay, so Burial Silhouette, right? These are shadows. If they get hit by this attack, I think they're also going to be affected by the Voidbound magic. To any unit, even a summon. So the Silhouettes of Burial, the summons of Floribel, the summons, Hodgkin already summons have it. So definitely, I think the team that he's going to be in is going to be Hodgkin, Floribel, Burial, and then 2 other heroes to complete the faction talent. It could be 2 Hypogean Celestials, because that is the overall strongest faction talent for Supreme Arena. It could be 2 more Graveborns, or it could even be 2 more Wilders. Yeah, like basically, it's really going to be flexible. But you would want probably 1 sort of tank. I think Fresto, Burial, 1 more Hypogean Celestial, and then you have your Hodgkin in your Floribel. It's going to be insane. So that's that. Okay, so this is something I just realized, and actually this is now clicking because someone shared a screenshot with me of like in Relentless Rumble and having like so many different voidlings all over the battlefield, and it must have been because of something like this, because they were running Burial Hodgkin. I don't know if they were running Florbell, but so anyway, yeah, I think he's going to be really cool. I can't wait to test him, but wait and see how well he does in testing. Also, you can wait and see on your own server how are people using Hodgkin to counter your own teams, and see, do you actually need to recruit for him? Because yes, even though he's going to be a great PvP hero, a lot of great PvP heroes will continuously be added to AFK Journey. But I do think maybe he is going to be one of the trademark heroes of this season, along with Sonya, because they both have gotten the most basically screen time in the trailers and things. But anyway, guys, he's a cool hero. I can't wait to test him. Let's see, until that happens, how important it will be for you to recruit for him. But thank you guys for watching. That's going to be it for this video. I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now. And let me know your thoughts about Hodgkin, if you will be recruiting for him, in the comment section down below. And if you won't, also then you can share your thoughts about that as well. But thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now.